Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to What's on the Playlist today. This is my third attempt at doing this, which maybe if I edited my videos, I wouldn't have to do. But that requires downloading software, and I'm too lazy and inept and incompetent. Anywho, today we're going to talk about The Cars, which is the debut album of the band The Cars, an image of which you will see here. This album came out in the summer of 1978. From The Cars. I'm trying to rehash this again. I'm trying to do this again. Sorry, people. The Cars is a Boston-based band. The only one whose name I can remember is Ric Ocasek. Their style is, they're listed as new wave, like on the internet and stuff, but they're not really considered new wave. They're more like a blend. They're like a blend of musical styles, some of which is synthetic rock, some of which is more classic rock sounds of the 70s. But all in all, cool band. Their debut album was incredibly well received. It had 3 singles, as well as many songs that were in heavy rotation on the radio. That Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed, I'm in Touch with Your World, Don't You Stop, You're All I've Got Tonight, Moving and Stairway, All Mixed Up, were all songs I heard on the radio a lot in late 70s, early 80s. This album was definitely a staple of my early teenage years. This album peaked at 18 on the charts and stayed on the charts for like 139 weeks. It was considered one of the best albums of the year to come out of 1978, maybe 79. So this album's also like way up there, like in the top 5. It's in the top 500 greatest albums of all time. Yada yada yada. At least on Rolling Stone's list. This was released by Elektra Records. Actually, The Cars had a couple different there were a couple different record companies that were trying to sign them to a contract, and The Cars chose Elektra Records because Elektra didn't really have any bands that were similar to The Cars in sound. They knew they were kind of different, but like Elektra had bands like Jackson Browne and the Eagles, more traditional, rock and roll bands. So they chose Elektra Records because it would allow them to stand out and be more easily noticed amongst their roster of musicians. This is also the only album that the album cover was not designed by the band's drummer. He had done this whole like photo collage thing, which he paid for out of his own pocket, by the way, and submitted it to Elektra Records. They didn't like it. They replaced it with this, along with the rear album picture of the band and like this, slick studio photography thing. The person on this is a Russian model. I know that much. I remember that much from doing my research on the album. Do not ask me to pronounce her name. I can't remember it, and I probably could not pronounce it without butchering it anyway. The album cover that the band designed, they relegated to the inside sleeve. This is the original cover that the band wanted on the cover of their album, which the studio didn't like, and so they replaced it. So interesting little tidbit there. As far as, I usually, in doing my little doohickeys, reviews of music, I usually try and talk about how the album, relates to me personally. And this is one of the albums I don't really have a strong personal connection to. It's a fun album. I really like the music, but it doesn't like speak to me emotionally. It's just a fun band that I always enjoyed listening to. So that's all there is to that. I can't really think of anything else I can add. These music reviews tend to be pretty short, even though I tried to, provide a bit more depth to them. I guess I can't do that. Despite my girth, my depth is limited. So that's what's on the playlist today. As always, thanks for watching. If you like my videos, I have no idea why you would do that. And until next time, good hunting.